with a solid performance by special teams tonight, both on the PK and on the power play. The Lehigh Valley Phantoms were able to walk away with an overtime win against a very tough Charlotte Checkers team tonight. Let's take a listen to interviews after the game with Carter Hart, TJ Brennan, Phil Varone, and of course head coach Scott Gordon.
That was a really good game for us and a good bounce back for us from Saturday's game, and I mean, we put a lot of work in to prepare and bounce back for tonight, and I thought we did that.
Is it nice to play in a low-scoring game for a change? There's been a lot of 5-4, 6-4 kind of games.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It was just kind of nice to get in a rhythm a little bit, and I mean, I think we really competed in the overtime and got a lot of chances, and it was nice to see TJ capitalize on that 2-on-1.
How did you feel? You looked pretty locked in tonight. How were you feeling tracking the puck? You were swallowing rebounds pretty well.
Yeah, I felt pretty good. I kind of fell asleep on the second one to tie the game. It's a good thing we won, but no, I felt good, and I mean, I got into a rhythm early, but I think for the majority of the game, I thought we did a really good job of defending our net and making sure that they didn't get any second chances or any of that, and I thought we really competed at both ends of the ice tonight.
Sorry, go ahead.
You didn't play Saturday night. Were you able to pick up anything up that they do that you were able to prepare for this one?
For sure, yeah. I definitely noticed a couple things that some of their tendencies that their team likes to do, and I mean, it's anytime where you're not playing, it's always good to kind of be aware and see what other teams are doing and stuff like that. So you kind of kind of know what to expect in a sense, but at the same time, it doesn't really affect your preparation. I think your preparation is the same no matter what.
Would you say that was your best game of the season?
I don't know. I don't really think I can put has it been my best game or any of that. I think you just kind of got to go with the flow, and now it's behind us, and we got to prepare for this weekend, and we got 2 huge road games. So I think we got a pretty tight division right now. So these next 2 games are where our focus needs to be at, and I know we'll be prepared for Friday.
Overtime, it seemed like you guys were having a lot of fun out there. A lot of 2-on-1s, obviously.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, you enjoy playing in those kind of fast-paced 2-on-1.
Yeah, it's fun. It's entertaining, and believe it or not, we've actually practiced it a bunch. Sometimes it's easy to get caught up in that stuff, chance for chance. So they're a really skilled team, and sometimes you don't want to get into that track meet. You want to kind of keep possession there, but it turned into that. And me personally, I was on the fortunate side of a bunch of 2-on-1s, but luckily I cashed in on the last one. But it can get pretty tiring, and you don't want to really kind of trade chances like that, because it could end quick. So glad we came out on the top end of that.
You had a pretty solid game. You had the assist. It could have been a goal in the first period, but it ended up being an assist. You had some good defensive play, then you get the overtime winner. How did it feel today out there for you?
Thanks, man. Appreciate that. It was good. We had a couple of good solid days of practice. We know Charlotte's first in our division and up there in the league, and we obviously got a good taste of them on Saturday. So we wanted to come back and make sure that we were ready to play and kind of match their intensity and make sure we're working as hard as them and even harder. And obviously we came out with 2 points, but still think we can get better at times. But coming out with 2 points is obviously the goal. But we definitely improved from the last game.
Coaches always talk about the compete level. What did you learn from Saturday's game against them that changed it for tonight's game?
It's pretty simple. There's a lot of stuff within our control. Kind of commitment towards simple plays and kind of breaking things down one shift at a time. It's really easy to get caught up in stuff and get caught in between and kind of, like I said, get in between stuff, and then that kind of makes everyone else hesitant. So just kind of focusing on your own stuff and controlling what you can, and make sure you're working hard every shift. And I know it sounds cliche, and it's probably why it's a tough job to be a coach to get us to do that stuff. But we went over some video and kind of broke it down and had some good, honest talks, and kind of just starting to progress back in the right direction.
The power play is starting to work, but the PK is really starting to be on fire. What's going on with that?
I think it comes down to hard work. We've done a lot of video and a lot of talk and a lot of communication with it. So it seems to be improving a lot, and guys are getting real confident on it. So that's always a positive thing, especially when you got a dangerous team like that. So if we can keep them off the power play, first and foremost, but not having them score any goals, it kind of gets momentum in our favor. So that's a good thing. Credit to our PK.
between the discipline in the second period, especially after taking 30 in the first, and kind of not giving up in the play, not giving up the puck in the second? How big was that to really kind of turn things around, tilt the ice back in your favor?
To score?
Just in the second period,
Yeah.
just the energy in general.
Yeah. I think we. What did Phil get that first goal? Is that what it was on that power play? Yeah, and then Misha got the second one. It was good. It's a long game, so I think that's some of the stuff you got to remember, especially at game, 13, 14. You got to be patient at times too. Sometimes it's easy to get caught up and stuff. So, they're a good team, and you got to make sure you capitalize on your chances and stuff. But we thought we played well, and we thought we were playing well, and. We felt momentum change, and we got that goal by Phil there in the second, and then another one right after. So it's good to get rewarded, but make sure we're sticking to the process.
No, I just find if I'm not on the half wall, I'm trying to get in front of the net. I think just that play specifically called for it. I know when I'm playing the half wall, kind of how a goalie is and how their D are playing. So I think that works to my advantage when I get in behind their strong side defense. It gets them out of whack because they're used to seeing half on that TJ. So I can't remember how that came to be. I almost prefer it because as the year goes on, everyone takes it's going to take these 3-2 games, 2-1 games to keep us in the playoffs. Doesn't matter.
How important was it there in the second period for the power play to get those 2 goals, sort of turn the tides?
For sure. I think our power play's been pretty good. It's just reps. I think, like anything, nothing's going to work off the bat. We got to get familiarity and a lot of reps in and knowing what guys are going to do without even thinking. So I think even on that play, that break-in that we had where TJ we got robbed there, goalie made a big save. Just knowing our routes through the neutral zone and then into the zone, and we made five really good passes to make a really good scoring chance there. So that comes with familiarity and reps.
When you get to 3-on-3 in overtime, what's the difference between being tense and having fun?
I mean, I think it's fun. It's you have more room. You get to show your skill a little bit. You get to skate. I think it's great. So it's I think that's where you see where guys rise to the occasion, or they curl up in a ball, and we've been pretty good at it. And guys in this room want to be a difference maker, and that's big.
The team sort of bounced back and played a little bit tighter defensively tonight, a little bit lower scoring game than normal.
Yeah, it was a much better job. Like I said to the guys after the second period, the chances that we gave off the rush were because of our turnovers at the top of the circle, which was progress from the other night because we didn't get into the offensive zone. But the bottom line is we had to be better in that area, and that complicated the start of the second period for us. And then finally we got some momentum going and drew some power plays. You draw power plays, usually you're putting the team on their heels, and they're forced to take those penalties. And it's been a while since we've done that. We haven't had a lot of power plays lately, and for us to get some tonight for the right reasons, it was an important part of it.
So the power play in the second period sort of turned the tides in the game with the 2 goals there.
Yeah, for sure. And I mean, geez, we had, I think, 2 posts and 2 pucks that went underneath Nedeljkovic. One hit his pad and off the post, and underneath him that looked like they were going in the net. They were wide open nets. We had some really good looks in our power play in the third period where we fanned on shots, like they were wide open nets, and I think just probably forcing a little bit too much and trying to put everything behind it, when in reality is just put it on net and you're good.
Perfect on the penalty kill plus the 2 power play goals. How happy have you been with the special teams?
Yeah, it's been an important part, especially on the penalty kill, because of we've struggled with goals against in some of the games that we haven't played well, and and that's been really a constant since the second game of the year. I think we've given up 4 power play goals, and on our last, we've played 15 games. I think the last 13 games we've given up 4 power play goals. So that's been trending in the right direction for a while, and the power play is consistently generating opportunities. And we scored on 2 tonight, and we probably should have had another 2 maybe in the third period. So it was the power play was good enough tonight not to have to practice tomorrow. So the guys are happy about that.
Carter looked comfortable in the crease tonight. How are you feeling about his performance?
Well, I think the timely and the big saves that he made, I thought there were a few instances where he created more work for us and himself with some rebounds that probably should have been controlled. But other than that, I think he's getting more comfortable and more confident with his game, and it's a big jump, and there's such high expectations for him. But the reality is he's no different than any other 20-year-old that's got to take their bumps and learned the pro game and what's involved in it to be successful.
How do you feel Varone's performance since his send down? How has his game evolved since then?
Yeah, I thought his first game, as expected, because he comes into playing in Hershey not having played much, he struggled quite a bit. But with the exception of one game, I think 3 of the next 4 have been pretty good. And he's a very talented player, and big body, skates well, does a lot of things that you look for in a hockey player. And I think his confidence, once he gets back up to where it was throughout the Flyers training camp, he'll make even more contributions than he is now.
Something we alluded to up in Philly regarding Misha is they weren't loving his compete level and consistency there. Is that something you've sort of honed in on as well? Like how is that something you can work on?
Well, I think there's a lot of energy that goes into a training camp where you're asked to play. If they played 8 exhibition games, I think he played 7 of them, and you're knocking on the door. There's a lot of stress. You want to make the team. You're getting close, and you really don't want to make a mistake that's going to send you down. And for him to be able to go in there and basically steal a job from another player, that's not easy. That doesn't happen too often, and that's one of those situations that management of an NHL team, they welcome it. They would love to be able to have somebody knock down the door and take a spot, but the reality is it's pretty hard to do it, and he did that. And I think his first 2 games he played quite a bit and made contributions, but then all of a sudden, it probably caught up to him. The adrenaline had worn off. He survived the cuts, made the team, played a couple games, played well, and you don't get the benefit of the doubt when you're a first-year player. So as things started trending, I don't want to say negatively, but when things stopped happening for him, his ice time decreased. And then when he's getting on the ice, he's not probably physically having the same energy when you play all the time. You're cold, you sit and you wait, and you make a couple of mistakes, and that ice time gets cut, and then you're the odd guy out. You don't play for a couple of weeks, and your game sharpness goes. So it's a hard. That whole process is hard, and any player that's been through it, they probably say the same thing. Like, you've just got to be on top, because you just don't get the benefit of the doubt. You got to prove it every single night.
For tonight, how happy were you with the OT period, with the sense of urgency and all the chances that you guys were able to generate?
Yeah, overtime is something that up until last week we've pretty much done a 5-minute overtime in every practice. There are things that we want to try to do offensively and defensively, and then also how we change and everything. So tonight was the best execution of it. Like, I don't know that we might not have even given up a shot. And the possession time that we had with it was another key part of it. Caught them in some situations where they couldn't make changes. And then when they were in the defensive zone, our coverage is, the way we do it is to make sure that we're protecting what's the most dangerous. And our execution on that didn't allow them to penetrate into the slot area. And as a result, we were able to recover pucks and go on the attack multiple times. So a lot of good stuff. in the overtime and throughout the whole game. And you know, it's I think the biggest plus to this game is the fact that we bounced back from Saturday night. That was a disappointment. You know, you look at that game and it's 5-4, and we got a wide open net with 4 seconds left at the end of the second period, and you know, then we come out in third period and really don't do a whole lot that's positive. And you know, I like the way our guys bounced back tonight. It was good.
Do you have to drag TJ off the ice in OT at practice too, or is that just in game?
Yeah, there's a couple guys who got to drag off the ice. They think it's just their play time. So, but you know, he had the 2 opportunities that he'd missed the net on. I think maybe net and save, and he's not going to miss on the third one. That's for sure.
How important is TJ, both on the ice and off the ice? And you know, what have you seen from him as far as leadership in the room this game?
Well, he's a guy that doesn't get rattled. You know, like, he's very calm and collected, and you know, his ability to do things offensively on the power play, make plays and get reads, you know, when to go on the offense and on the attack in the rush. You know, those are talents that come from experience, and that's a huge part of our defenseman's responsibility, is identifying the right times to go and not to go. So that's, you know, that experience is good for our other players to be able to see.
After a great overtime win here for the Lehigh Valley Phantoms, this gives them plenty of momentum now as they head out on the road this weekend. They'll be heading out facing Providence and Springfield this weekend, and a win tonight helps give them the energy and the motivation they need to keep on winning as they get back in that win column tonight. Of course, be sure to keep it locked on the AHL Report for all of your AHL news and information about the Lehigh Valley Phantoms, the Laval Rocket, and other teams around the AHL. You can find us on Twitter at the AHL Report, or just check us out online, ahl.report. For the AHL Report, I'm Amy Johnson reporting.